Hi! So it has been a year since I got the Onewheel Pint, and I think it's time for me to do a what I think about it a year later. Is it still amazing, or is it just a paperweight? Spoiler alert, it's not a paperweight. Also too, look at how much faith I'm putting into to holding up this camera right now. Okay, I'm gonna take it down quick. I had this full intent as well as like getting some really cool like following shots with the drone, but I didn't check all the batteries when I checked it last night. Yeah, the remote was dead. Also too, I gotta get out of this area because it's a little bit wet, so my grip tape is just getting destroyed. Squirrel's trying to take the tree down. So if you saw my first video, I'll have a link for it. You'll see that when I first rode this thing, one, I didn't have the helmet. I fixed that. I know a lot of comments on that. Two, it's really tricky to get used to at first. But once you do get used to it, and I heard someone say it in another video, and I completely agree with it, and I tell everyone the same thing, it takes about 3 days to get used to it. After those 3 days, you feel way more comfortable on it, you get better at carving, all that sort of stuff, it just gets way better. Now the question, after having this for a year, do I still think it's worth the money? And I do. And I'm gonna talk about the things that have bothered me about it in the year I've had it. It's two main things. The positives, it can go anywhere, up hills, down hills, over dirt, all that sort of stuff. I talked about that in my review. All that is still the same, it's amazing. But the negatives to it is one, the range. I don't know if maybe I have a lemon of a board, because I'm only ever getting about 10 kilometers, which is, I think the low end of what they said on the predicted mile range, the 7 to 9 miles or wherever it says. That range really hurts for me, because I feel like every time I just get out and like fully get to exploring, I have to go back. So that aspect really hurts for me. And the other thing is the top speed, 24 kilometers per hour, or I don't know, this is what it is in miles, is not that fast once you get used to it. And I'm constantly going full speed, which could be why my range is not very good, because I'm constantly going full speed. So those aspects of it are the negatives for me that make it really hard to go out and adventure like I was hoping I would do with this. I'm feeling that I would want to have an XR or something along those lines that will give me more range so that I can go farther and have more of an outing. Because this, for me, feels like the Pint, I should say, feels like as soon as you start getting out and finding something cool, you need to go back. That's my experience with it. Now, what it excels at, and this is why I still say it's amazing for people, is that it's great for commuting. If you're going from point A to point B where you can get there, charge it, do all that sort of stuff, it's amazing for that because it's so nimble, it's so easy to get around. I think that's the selling feature, why you get a Pint. Or for beginners, learning how to use electric, like Onewheels or electric boards or of that sort. So that's kind of the thoughts I've had with over the year of riding this thing and having it. But it's still a ton of fun. Still a ton of fun. I've never actually explored this area yet. Today what I did is I drove to an area and then got on the wheel and started exploring and getting out of my bubble area that I'm used to. But it's really nice in here. Oh, look at the little duck. So some things that I would like to see still improved on this, the app connectivity is still not great. I've figured out my workaround, if you know what that is, where the Bluetooth, I think, is just not very strong range, so if you keep your phone close to it, it seems to connect better. That's one thing that still needs to be improved on it. It is cool that they did add that feature, allows you to create group rides and find other people. The only problem is COVID hit, so it hasn't been very popular around here. That trail was actually kind of sketchy because the ground had a little bit of kind of like hidden mud spots that would make your tire kind of slip out. A little bit sketchy. So 1 year later, should you get a Onewheel? Have you been looking at getting one? My answer is yes, they're a lot of fun. But now, should you get the Pint or an XR? Here's the real question. And I think if you are an experienced electric board rider, you're probably gonna want the XR because you're gonna want that extra range and you're gonna want that little bit higher speed. But if you've never gotten an electric device before and you've been looking at them, I highly recommend the Pint. It is a great device. It's so much fun to ride, and it's very, very quick to pick up and learn. And it's also amazing for commuting because it's so small and it's so light, it has the handle, you're able to carry it into the store. All that sort of stuff makes it really good for being a good commuting device. But like I said, there's a few little things that bother me that would make me want to get an XR over this. And I feel like if you're anything like me, you're gonna have the same opinion on that and probably want to get an XR over the Pint. But still, an amazing device, would highly recommend it. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go finish my ride. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a fun one to make. I did a lot of adventuring. It was a good time. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already.